Deputy Director General at Shaare Zedek and Director of the hospital's Emergency Preparedness and Response Program. He's a Lieutenant Colonel in the IDF Reserves, and he led the team on the great big plane that landed on the first full day in Port-au-Prince and set up a MASH unit. Ofer, Dr. Merin, a very good evening to you. I welcome you to the show. Reflect for the audience, please. How many people were with you and how you set the unit up on the first day?
Hey, hi. We arrived there in a bigger unit of about 240 people that was divided exactly into two units. One was a medical unit that consisted of 121 people, and the other unit was a rescue team unit that their position was to try and find and help the people that were still under the rubble. So the medical team consisted of 121 people. There were about half of them were from the reserve forces of the Army. I'm person is, of course, in the reserve forces. And the other half were physicians and nurses that are still doing their Army service.
It is amazing that within 36 hours you were already on the ground. And my daughter gave birth today, one of them, and I kept thinking about the comparison between being in a hospital and you had an incubator, you had the facilities there. Could you tell us how many people did you operate on? How many lives did you impact? And secondly, could you discuss something you said in an interview that I remember stuck with me, that there are ethical decisions you have to make that you're not used to taking, that you can't have an emotional connection in a circumstance like that. Could you explain it?
Yeah. Well, first maybe I'll just say the numbers. In total, in the first 10 days that we were working there, we treated a total of 1,111 patients that came into the hospital. Of these patients, we operated 317 patients, so about almost one-third of the patient went into surgery. We had 16 births, so these are the numbers. I really think that one of the most strong feelings were, the big difference between the medicine that we had to give there in our daily work, the ethical issues that we had to face. We really started from the first day. We started from the decision in what we call the triage, from the entrance, where you have to decide which patient you can take care and which patient you cannot take care. There were of course thousands of patients out, and I think one of the more important things was to try to locate these patients that you think that you can help. Usually when you're treating patients, you're treating first the more difficult patients. Here we had the intensive care unit with 4 beds. We could easily fill this intensive care unit in the first hour, and then we could not give any more service. So I think the more important thing was to try to locate these patients that are from one hand difficult, but from the other hand the patients that we can help in a short time. We could not take patients which were too difficult that would maybe use all our resources and still will done in a few days.
How did the people respond, the Haitians respond to you and to seeing Israelis there?
Well, I must say that, after a few days, probably the word was spread around that we were there and we were helping people. And in our cars, we were going around, we had flags, and people were waving at us on the street. So yeah, it was really a pleasure. The feeling once we left there after the hospital, when we were going around on the street and we were trying to locate other places that people that we can help, they just seeing the flags, people were clapping and waving.